guys, so today's job I'm going to do engine oil change, filter, and I also do a flush at the same time. So I'll talk you through how I do it, but that's based on my OCD, so I do tend to be a bit over the top with everything. So I'll yeah, car's warmed up. I'm just going to get under there now and just drain the oil that's in there at the moment, and I'll be back with you shortly. Alright, so I'm draining the oil at the moment. It's quite tight under here, so I tend to just jack it up so I can get my container under there. And then I lower the car back down so it's level again. So I'll let that drain for a few minutes. I'm not going to go mad because I'm going to put some flushing oil through it. So I use this company that I use. I just fill that up, and what you're meant to do is just let it idle for 10 minutes with this stuff in it and then drain it out. But what I also do is I change the filter. So I'll take the filter off the car. Once that's finished draining, I'll pop the sump bolt back in. I'll change the filter just to a cheapy filter while I do the flush, and I'll go from there. Right, so I'm going to put I've just I'll prime the filter with some flushing oil. I'm going to put that on now. I've got the sump bolt back on, and then I'll fill the engine up with the flushing oil. What I do personally is when I do an oil or filter change, I'll pull the coil lead off and just crank the engine for 5 or 10 seconds just to get the oil back before starting it. So yeah, I'm going to get the oil filter back on now, fill the engine up with the flushing oil, crank it over with the coil lead off for a few seconds, connect the coil lead up, and then I'm going to let it tick over for 10 minutes as the instructions on the flushing oil recommends. Right, so I gave it a good crank for a few seconds with the coil lead disconnected, and now I've connected it. Now I'm going to let it sit and idle for 10 minutes, and then I'll drain the flushing oil out. So while it's ticking over, I'm just checking if we've got no major leaks. You can see some smoke burning off the exhaust. It's impossible not to get any oil on the exhaust when you change the filter. So yeah, I'm going to let this tick over now. Get rid of the old oil, ready to dump this flushing oil out then. Alright, so I'm draining the flushing oil out now, and as you can see, it's still quite dirty. I'm going to change the oil every 6 months. So I do like to give it a good flush through. But what I'll do after this, because I buy 10 watt 40 oil with high zinc for classic cars, I buy it by like a 20 litre drum. So what I'll do after this, once this is finished draining, I'll leave that old filter in. I'll fill it up with some fresh engine oil, and I'll let it run again for 10 minutes, and then I'll drain that out as well, so it just gets any of the old flushing oil out, and anything that's still left in there dirty wise. So I'm going to just lower the car down now so it drains out a bit better. So yeah, I'll let that finish draining out. I'll put another load of fresh oil in it, run that for a few minutes, drain that out, and then I'll do my final oil change, and I'll put a new filter in as well. So that's what the flushing oil looks like once it's come out. So still some crap in there. So what I've done now is filled it up with fresh engine oil, and I'm going to do the same again. I'm going to run her up on idle for a few minutes and drain that out, and hopefully it'll be a lot cleaner than that. And then I'll do another oil change and filter change, and yeah, should be done. So yeah, I'm just going to run her up again now for a few minutes and drop the oil again. Right, so I've warmed it up again 10 minutes with the last oil. I've just taken the old filter out. I'm going to put a new filter in now, decent one. And I'll prime this, fill it up with oil first. So yeah, fill this up, get it on. Dump the oil out that's in there. I've got a new plastic washer for the sump bolt. I always change these every time I do an oil change at the end. So yeah, new filter, drain the oil out, put the sump bolt back in with a new plug or washer, and then top her off with the last oil change, and then go and give it a run. So I'll be back in a bit. Alright, just finishing topping her up. I've pulled the coil lead off again as I've changed the filter again, and I'll just crank it for a few seconds before I start it, and then I'll yeah, just check the level again and go and give it a run. So just to recap, what I do when I change the oil on this, so I obviously warm the engine up, dump the oil out that's already in there. I then put a cheapo oil filter in, put some engine flush in, engine flush oil, run that up for 10 minutes, dump that out, put some clean engine oil in, and run that up for about 10 minutes and dump that out. And then I put my final oil change I put in. I then put a decent oil filter in, and I changed the plastic washer on the sump bolt. So that's what I do twice a year. I say it's probably a bit OCD, but I like to just flush it all out properly. I don't buy really expensive oil either, because I say I change it every couple of times a year. So I buy it by the 20 litre drum. As I said before, it's 10 watt 40 for classic cars with high zinc, and it's mineral oil, it's not synthetic, because I say there's no point putting expensive oil in it for me to change it a couple of times a year anyway. So that's personally what I do. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. So that's the oil and filter change done. I do this routine twice a year, and obviously I changed the coolant in that recently, and the engine hose. The car's going to get laid up. I know it's spring, but I'm just about to start some work on the house, an extension. So conservatory's coming down, and unfortunately I'm going to lose access in and out of my garage. So while the building work's going on, probably for most of April, May and some of June, car's going to be locked away in here safe, away from all the building dust. So I just wanted to get it serviced before I kind of lay it up a little bit for a few weeks, so at least once the summer comes and the building work's done, I can get out and enjoy it. So yeah, a bit sad that I'm not going to be able to use it much over the spring, but I need to do the work to the house, so that's got to come first. But yeah, I'll enjoy the car over the summer, and as much as I can while the weather's like this, nice and sunny, before the building work starts. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and yeah, I'll probably see you on the next one. I don't know when that'll be, but yeah, hope you enjoyed this one, and see you on the next one. Cheers, guys.